careless, reckless.
The radical leftist.
It's another tax break.
This month, a national movement to encourage voters and politicos to reject contempt and reward dignity launched a pilot project here in Utah.
The project is simply called the Dignity Index.
The first ever Dignity Index was released today, scoring the messages from Utah's political candidates.
Based on the research of specialists in conflict resolution, the social impact initiative Unite designed a 1 to 8 scale to measure speech for dignity or contempt. The lower the number, the more contemptuous and divisive the language.
What we've found is that people are starving for a break from the contempt and hatred and divisiveness. And let's also be clear, the stakes here are high.
We have divisions that are not caused by disagreement. They're not caused because we think differently. They're caused because we have contempt.
Contempt actually kills curiosity.
Contempt takes away our ability to talk to each other, which takes away our ability to solve problems together, which can take away our ability to hold our democracy together.
This is not a score of how nice people are necessarily.
That's right. This is not about speech police. This is not about kumbaya group hugs. This is about how we speak in terms of elevating the conversation to something a little bit different.
There's really important efforts to change hearts and minds and have public discussions. But what I like about this is it focuses on behaviors, and behaviors are changeable.
To change behavior, you have to be able to define the behavior, and then you have to measure the behavior.
And so we've trained a group of ideologically diverse coders, liberals and conservatives, working together.
Looking at campaign letters, debate transcripts, speeches, social media accounts, and trying to quantify, is this speech dignified or not?
Hi, my name is Stephen Lenhoff.
Iridacunda Esperance.
Madeline Jones.
Susie Estrada, and I am a student at the University of Utah.
In the training, what was really heartening to see is that we could get a lot of agreement across this broad ideological spectrum.
The great thing about it is everyone can understand it because it's really just about how we treat each other.
My thoughts about political dialogue have changed through this experience, internalizing that dialogue as a tool.
If you could just read the index, it makes you think about, well, what's a more inclusive way to say this and a more inclusive way to say that.
And I think one of the most important parts of the Dignity Index is not what it's telling us about our politicians, it's about what it will tell us about ourselves.
It's funny that we designed something as a grading tool, but what it's turned out to be most powerful as is a mirror.
This changed the way I've had conversations with my children, with my neighbor, with my colleagues at work.
The Dignity Index changed me. And yes, you can challenge the scoring, but that inspires a conversation.
Any problem of the whole is going to require the whole. We're trying to not just open the door to civility and dignity, but open the door to the freedom to express oneself so that we can actually integrate the best of each other.
Think if we had a Congress that could talk to each other, that could actually solve problems. And part of the Dignity Index goal is to develop these types of relationships in disagreement to where we can solve problems.
When we learn how to communicate in our entire community, we're better off.
We're talking about a practical strategy for actually moving the country forward.
Those that don't know the Dignity Index should definitely explore it and get to know what it is.
The Dignity Index is our attempt to introduce to families, to businesses, and to politics a new way of solving problems by not treating others with hatred and contempt, but rather by treating others with dignity.